So in simple terms, what we're going to go through now is looking at, once you've got the team on board, everyone's there, you started the project, work starts. So you start with the work being undertaken in the work breakdown structure of the Gantt chart, how you've listed the details. Then you have reports coming in. So on a regular basis, you're finding out what people have done and what they haven't done and where the issues are and what problems they've got and what the risks are that are coming up, etc. So you're actually getting in with reports. Okay, as it says there, verbal, written or meetings. And then quite often you may choose to validate what they tell you. So don't just take it all from carte blanche that what people tell you is correct. You may choose to get validation, get second party opinion, you might need to get audits done, whatever you choose, depending again on the risk element of your project. And I'll go through these in more detail. So after that, you will update your work breakdown structure or your Gantt chart or however you're managing your project plan. Doing a status update. You have ongoing, outgoing reports, communications, and then you have feedback where you're managing the whole thing around your risk and performance requirements, etc. So this is a cycle that will happen continuously throughout the project. You'll get work done, you work out what they haven't done, you'll approve things, you'll okay things, you'll send out reports. And then you go back through the cycle again and again and again. Okay, so when we talk about inward reports, quite often if you are geographically dispersed, so if you've got people working in different states or in different cities, quite often you've just got to get off, schedule a time to get on the phone and walk through your task list or walk through their responsibilities and say, have you done this, have you done that, have you done that? And then they will give you a verbal report and tell you where, what's going on, etc. And that's the easiest way to do it, especially if they're really busy. You get them on the phone and you do it there and then. And quite often it's a case of you either having a printed copy of their responsibilities or you have it online and you update it as you go. There's a lot of tools available online now so that you can actually do your meetings online. You can do them electronically, you can Skype them, you can do conferences online, you can update, you can actually do video conferencing, etc, etc. So there's lots of different ways of doing it. It depends on, again, the complexity and the budget of the project. Okay, so you might also update your Gantt using software. Now, quite a lot of Gantt programs, and I don't know about the one you're talking about on Apple, but you can actually download somebody's responsibilities, send it out to them electronically, they can update it, and when you receive it, it actually updates the Gantt chart. Okay, now so that's usually the Primaveras and the more sophisticated software programs do that. Microsoft Project was meant to, but I don't know whether they, as you can tell, I don't use it that frequently.
2007 version has, but if you've got 2003, they will not talk to each other. You cannot open the other Gantt charts.
So quite often, how you get that information back, what you want to do is minimise doubling up. You want to minimise writing it down and then minimise them going updating, and then you don't know what something's changed by the time you've done it and all the rest of it. So you want to try and be as dynamic as you can and update it as quickly as you can. Obviously, one of the most frequent ways of giving updates is by weekly or regular meetings. And as I said to you, I think week one, it's usually better to have your meeting in midweek, because that way, if you have it on the Friday, it's not out of date by the time you get something out on the Monday because something's happened over those 2 days. So, or the other way around, you're getting it on the Monday about people updating you from the Friday. So it's usually better to have it midweek and get the people into the room and sort of say, where are you at, what are you doing? The issue with that is obviously taking everyone away from the workplace. You're taking them out of the working environment, sitting in an office in a meeting, and people seem to think the longer the meeting, the better the meeting, which I hate personally. And usually if I set an agenda and I say we're going to be in there for 45 minutes or 46 and a half minutes, then we're there and we're out within that 46 and a half minutes. So if you're going to schedule these things, try and do yourself a favour and don't waste people's time, because otherwise they'll get to know it and they won't want to go. And they'll find a whole bunch of reasons, I'm too busy, or this is happening, or that's happening. So if you schedule meetings, make sure that you are clear in your agenda, you set your tasks, you go through them, you are dynamic in updating your task lists and your project plans, and that you are able to provide that feedback straight away. When in meetings, I'll also give you an example of a minutes template. I find that the easiest way to take minutes is to do it there and then. So you have a data projector, I don't know what I've talked about this, you have a data projector, you have your laptop, and you do it there and then, so that as you're updating it, or as you're coming up with issues or risks or whatever it is, then an update, you can do it there and then. Everyone's approved it because they're in the room, and as soon as you can get out email, it's out straight away. You don't have to take 2 days to then update and write a bunch of minutes or try and get the chicky babe down the corner to interpret your handwritten notes. Okay, the other thing is a written layout. Now, this is something which I used a lot in companies where where you've got people who may be being a bit difficult, and so therefore it's better to actually get a written report in exactly the same format from everyone every week on the same day at the same time. So it'll get to be known as the Tuesday status meeting, or you've got to get the reports, you know, your project status report in by Monday morning at 10 o'clock every day. If you do that, then everyone will have to give you the same level of information at the same time, and then it's easy for you to collate it. You use the same layout and the same template, and you just drag and drop, put it all in together so that it actually all collates together, so you just summarise it. So this is an example which I have given you. Okay, and this project status report obviously just goes to the project ID, when it was raised, you know, who it was prepared by, so who's filling it in, general comments, information, what they've achieved within the week or the time period, the issues or temporary resolutions, the risks, the planned achievements over the next period, all the obvious stuff. All that is a bunch of headings, and if you send that out and say, okay, this is the document you must all give to me by such and such time on this day every week, they all give it to you, then you use the same template and you just summarise it and choose what you're going to put into it, and that's a document you then send out to your superiors, or, you know, the sponsor, or the other people, the other stakeholders that need to be updated each time period. All right. So, inward reports. Obviously, people doing work, you're getting an update, people are telling you what they're doing, what they're not doing, what the problems are, what's going on in the project generally. You may choose to validate it, as I said. Now, I have one particular project I was working on where the client was really, really, really difficult. I cannot say really enough, because they were really, really difficult. And every time we did something, they would approve it, they'd sign it off, and then 2 days later, say, oh, no, we've changed our mind. And so then they'd go back and revisit it and want it all rehashed and redone and things like that. So what I introduced was a decision record, so that they would then have to sign it to say it was finished, and they were never going to come back and revisit that particular requirement again. And you'll have to make these things up in different times, depending on what it is that you need to be able to manage with difficulties, whether it's the client or a particular team member or a company or a subcontractor or whatever. Sometimes you'll choose to have second party confirmation. So you might, one organisation may say, yes, we've done this and this is what we've achieved, and then you might have somebody go and do an audit and say, yes, these things are done, or no, those things aren't. Or you may get a supply confirmation in writing. So, for example, if you've got that company we were talking about who's going to provide all the windows on, you know, for all this infrastructure project, you may need delivery dockets, you might need some other means of confirmation that the right things are being delivered at the right place at the right time, of the right spec. Okay?